About 200 Royalton employees took strike action on Monday to express dissatisfaction with their workplace environment. They have now gone back to work, and the Ministry of Labour and Social Security will be joining us this morning via Minister Pernell Charles Jr.
Morning, sir. Welcome to Smile.
Morning.
What were the issues?
A number of issues, from canteen facilities issues to issues regarding bonus, but generally just a matter of some disquiet in terms of the communication and engagement between staff and employees.
Yeah. Is this just one? I mean, I know we deal with just one hotel, but is this across the board that other hotels people are complaining, or is just a one-off situation?
You know, we have had for some time, I wouldn't say complaints, but concerns from workers in this sector. In this particular incident, it was one of three of the Royalton hotels that was in particular having this protest, industrial action. But the ministry sees it as an opportunity to not just focus just on the industrial action for the one hotel in the grill, but to look on a wider perspective and to see, listen, you know, are these issues, as you said, related just to the grill, or are these issues that are common across the sector? And for us, we will be conducting an industry assessment. We're going to be developing the Tourism Labour Relations Working Group to dive down into these issues to see exactly what are the concerns, what are the potential solutions to these concerns, and to move to really advance what we have called the decent work agenda. The International Labour Organization has this decent work agenda that is global, which talks about advancing jobs and rights for workers and social dialogue and all of that. And this is really what you see coming out of the actions this week, where workers should have the right to stand up and say, we have a problem. And what I want to acknowledge is that when the Royalton Group reached out to us, we immediately initiated our pre-conciliation activities. And it led to them on their own having discussions, which led to a resolution in under 24 hours, which means that they had some good relations. So there was some goodwill that they could rely on to treat with the issue. Now, we need to make sure, as you inferred, that sector-wide, we continue to advance best practices. So when we talk about this decent work agenda, it means how do we help staff members, how do we help the management to know how to operate? What are the best practices to make sure you avoid industrial action, you engage and acknowledge people, because when the hotels win, the staff wins. When the staff wins, Jamaica wins. And that's ultimately what we all want.
One of the things I read is that the management came in from Spain. And I thought to myself, what happens, because a lot of the hotels are managed by people who are non-Jamaicans.
Yes.
And I wondered to myself, how does that fit in with our labor laws? Because they're coming from different countries that have different types of laws. When they come here, what is the engagement to say this is Jamaica and this is how we do business?
Excellent question. It's a question that actually somebody messaged me on Twitter about. The reality is that Jamaica is used to embracing talent from overseas. And the laws are similar in that the rights and the expectations are not too distant between what they would expect in Jamaica and Europe. The Royalton Group actually is one of the groups that export Jamaican talent.
Okay.
So we have Jamaicans in that group that have been nurtured and trained and gone to executive level and are now out in Antigua and other places working, similar to how they bring Spanish talent here. Jamaican talent has also been exported. So we have no difficulty with that. It's just a matter of persons understanding that despite the laws, in Jamaica, we are a particular type of person, of people. We expect for you to understand that the respect and value and engagement must not just be said, it must be shown. And you know, that's what you see coming out here. And from the ministry's perspective, I tell you this, you know, we are in addition to all that I said, we are going to be developing something called a decent work, engagement program, which will see us providing a framework so that we're not just saying to people, you must abide by these principles, but we are helping you to understand what to do in order to avoid what will result in chaos and problem, and to keep yourself on a line where you are acknowledging persons, you are advancing apprenticeship and training, and really just creating the kind of environment where people feel valued. Because, remember, when we go to the hotel, who do we meet? Yeah. Who do we first see? Is that the manager?
No.
That person at the front desk is what any tourist coming to Jamaica sees as Jamaica. So they must be in a space where they feel at least engaged, empowered, valued. And that's part of the conversation we had yesterday when myself, my team had a conversation with one part of the management and Minister Bartlett another. And we tried to reiterate that, from the perspective of the government, all parties are important to us. But the rights of the workers is paramount because they're the more vulnerable party. They're the party at a risk, at greater risk. And so, making sure that they are living in an environment where they are being able to be comfortable and to do their work makes your job easier. Yeah. Your hotel will make more money. Yeah. And when you make more money, we get more jobs. Yeah.
Minister, I can't say I disagree with anything you've said thus far, but is there a concern that you said this was worked out in 24 hours? Is there a concern that me and Delia Hotel see that? And we said, no, man, we want more money, and we're going to strike, so we're going down the road yesterday. Yeah. Is there a concern?
Of course, at least on my part, I can boldly say that and openly. But that is why, as I said to you earlier, we are going to advance the industry assessment. We are going to work with staff members, all stakeholders in the industry, to really monitor this situation going forward. And it is our intention to be proactive. So yes, it is a concern, but I think once we have greater communication and once we have collaboration, we will be able to avoid this concern leading to anything negative, and it will lead to opportunity. That's what I believe.
Yeah. Okay. So everything is all right now at Royalton. People
so far,
to work
give thanks. And matter of fact, I saw some videos out on the day after, and those were videos from the day before, because within less than 24 hours, they were able themselves to settle this matter, and that should be acknowledged as a positive move.
Congratulations, sir, and thanks for coming.
One love.
The Honourable Minister of Labour and Social Security, Pernell Charles Jr.
Coming up next, we hear more about the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. More in Smile after the break.